Hi everyone! So if you clicked on this video thinking, what the heck is Drea thinking spending $1,781 on plants while she is unemployed, do not fear, all will be explained throughout the course of this video. But first, this is technically going to be a sort of unboxing video because I do have a very large box right here of plants from AroidAsia. This is actually shipment 1 of 2 of those plants that I ordered. That combined total is $1,781 worth of plants. But honestly, you guys, I bought them for a very good reason, and it is related to what I've decided I am going to be doing for my life and a career moving forward. So we are going to be unboxing these plants. I am going to be showing you all these plants, but during the time that we are unboxing these, I'm going to kind of explain to you kind of what my thought process has been over the course of the last month since I lost my job and what I've decided I'm going to do, like I said, moving forward. But let's go ahead and start getting into this box because obviously I don't want these plants sitting in here any longer than they have to. So while I'm opening this box, I do want to let you guys know there are actually some duplicate plants in here. They are not all different plants. There are, I've already forgotten, I think close to 40 plants in this particular shipment. And so I am going to be showing you at least one of each type of plant. And I'll definitely show you how all of them look and if there's any issues, you know, with the roots or anything like that. But I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me unbox like 10 of the same plant, as it were. Okay, I think I've got this part open. The big question is, do I have room to flip it open? I think I'm gonna have to cut this top part off. I don't have quite enough space here. Okay, we've got the top off and all the paperwork. Whew, this is a lot of plants. This is gonna be a lot of unpacking, a long bit of unpacking for me. I'm definitely going to edit it down for you guys, but I'm gonna start off just with what's on top here. And this first plant is actually a Philodendron Plowmanii that we are going to be unboxing. So while I am unpackaging this one, let me get y'all caught up on what's been going on. So when I lost my job, I had filmed that vlog video for you guys talking about it. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it down below in the description for you. And I basically said, you know, I kind of was down about it. I wasn't sure how I was feeling. I was kind of disenchanted with the corporate world and that I almost really just didn't want to go back into the corporate world. And so I kind of took some time to think about it. I did get some severance, by the way, you guys. I don't think I mentioned it in that video because I hadn't been sent the severance offer yet. And so I didn't even know what it was going to be, if I was going to accept it, all those good fun things. So I did get severance. Now, where I live, you cannot double dip. I don't even know if that's really the right word for it, but basically you can't collect severance and unemployment at the same time. It's one or the other, but severance typically, hopefully with most companies, would be more than unemployment. So I did end up accepting the severance. And so since I did have that, I tried to just take some time to stop and kind of think and not just go straight into nonstop job hunting, which I did like for a few days, nonstop job hunt and apply for jobs and things like that. But while I was doing that, I was getting more and more like, I don't know, down because I was like, I really don't want to go back into the corporate world. I'm over it. There have been plenty of times throughout my 17 plus years working in the corporate world where I have felt like I was back in like middle school or high school. People just get so petty. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like in marketing and it's, I don't know, everybody just wants to claim every idea for themselves, especially if it's an idea that actually made the company a lot of money. And it just kind of feels kind of cutthroat sometimes. And I don't know, I'm kind of over it. I'm over the politics of it. I'm over like pay disparity and inequality and all those things that I know are going on. I mean, I have had to fight so hard to try to get paid what I'm worth over the years. And only about a year ago did I finally get close to it. I'm still not quite where I feel like I should be, but definitely closer than I've ever been before. But anyway, so I was just getting kind of down about it. So I just decided to take some time off and just think, okay, what can I do? What do I want to do? Because as I had stated, YouTube, if this had happened like a year later, my plans for this channel and associated other things around the channel, those might have been at the level a year from now that I could just have quit my job, my day job. But unfortunately, we were not quite at that point yet. However, I stopped and I started thinking, well, Part of the reason we weren't at that point yet was because I also had a full-time day job. So I didn't have, you know, unlimited hours to work on doing the things that I wanted to do to build up the channel and the associated, I guess I'll say associated revenue streams. Really, it is associated revenue streams. It's also associated things that I wanted to be able to offer to you guys. And I was like, well, I have this severance. So what if I just maybe made the leap of let me try and build this up to the level that I can live off of this in a very short time frame. My time frame is actually like a 6-month time frame is what I set for myself. And let me just see if I can do it. And this honestly, you guys, was a really big, tough leap for me, because the big problem I have with this idea I had in my head of let me try and do this is not can I start what I want to do, start or grow this business, turn this into a legit business, make enough money to live off of. Well, that one I am still a little bit like, can I actually do it? Like, eventually I can. I just don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get there. And, you know, for me, I've owned a business before. For those of you who don't know, I used to own a fitness studio pre-pandemic. So I know how to run a business. It's not a question of that. It's more a question of, can I get outside of my comfort zone and recognize the fact that I put all that severance money and my tax return came in as well. I got a pretty big chunk back from that. And so I put all that into my savings, and I was like, you're going to have to accept the fact that you're going to have to be pulling money out of that savings account, that the amount that's in there is going to keep going down. And you're not only going to be pulling it out just to live off of, you're going to have to spend some of that money to be able to build this business and grow this business. And for me, it's so hard to take that leap, because the second I see the numbers in that account going down, I start to second guess myself. And I'm like, well, can you do this? You know what? Maybe it would just be safer if you went and applied and got another corporate job. That's the more logical route. You should just do that, Drea. You should just whatever. And I just start doubting myself. And so I really had to sit down and take the time to think about it and try to convince myself, not only A, you can definitely do this, B, you can do this in this time frame, but C, you can get over your fear of spending money to make money, because you've got to spend money to make money. It's just the facts. And so when I kind of got to that point, I had already actually kind of filled a cart on AroidAsia's site, and it was just sitting there for like days because I was like too scared to pull the trigger and actually spend the money. And so finally I was like, you just need to do it. You just need to do it. The longer you sit here not doing anything, the longer it's going to be before you can actually make some money. So I placed this order that we are unboxing, and I'm going to tell you here in a second exactly what the plan is for these plants, as well as all of the plans for how I'm going to grow this business and how I'm going to actually be able to start making more money, and hopefully enough money to live off of through all of these things that I'm about to launch. I'm almost got the wrapping off of the roots for this one, and I do have some vessels of water set out here. I don't have enough room to put out like a ton of them, plus with the number of plants that are in here, I mean, I'm going to have to be, it's not a big enough table for everything, so I'm going to have to be taking some trips in and out of here and swapping out for other vessels and everything. Okay, got this one unwrapped. Now this one, I was expecting this. These are pretty fine roots, as you can see. It's kind of like the Philodendron Splendid that I got from them when they had sent me some free plants back in, I think we got them in January. Very fine roots like this, so that's pretty much the type of roots that I was expecting, was similar to the Splendid, and that's exactly what these look like. There's not quite as many as there were on the Splendid, but they do look pretty good. We're definitely a little bit dehydrated, so of course we're going to put them into some water, but I'm not seeing like a bunch of rot or anything like that. And then we do have quite a few leaves here. It is obviously a little bit of a baby plant. These are some small leaves, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves, beautiful velvety leaves on this Philodendron melanochrysum. And I do see here that we do have some more roots coming out from almost all the nodes up and down this stem. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get them all into the water, although, all right, this is where decisions are going to have to be made, you guys, because I actually could break this up into 2 separate plants instead of leaving it as one, because there are a fairly significant number of roots, especially right here on this node. Okay, that's something to think about, but for now I'm just gonna get the bottom roots on this into some water, and I think we're gonna go with this little vessel here. And so if you guys aren't familiar with how to rehab imported plants, I do also have a video on that I'll link it below in the description for you as well. So I'm not gonna go into that during this video. This video, we're primarily just unboxing, look at these beautiful, beautiful plants, and I'm filling you in on how you can acquire some of these actually. So let's go ahead and move on to continuing the story of what I'm going to be doing with these and how I'm going to be growing the business. But let's see, let's find another, since I do have quite a few, I can talk melanochrysums in here. Let me set them out there because I want to try to open, like I said, one of each type of plant with you first while we're talking about things. And ooh, I'm so excited about this one, but there's a whole nother story with that one. So we're gonna wait on that one till a little bit later in the video as well. What do we have here? More melanochrysum. I think I got 10 melanochrysums. Oh my gosh, you guys, I completely forgot that I ordered. This is actually what started it. This is what triggered the start of me placing this order. Okay, we're about to unwrap a Monstera Albo. That's right, Monstera Albo. Fairly large looking situation here. This is actually what started it because I was on their website. I think I was looking at one of their flash sales, and then I just started looking. Where did I put my scissors, you guys? Oh, they're there. I started looking at what other plants they had on sale, and they had these on like significant sale to the point where I was like, if I can buy it for that cheap, I know how much I can sell it for. And that right there, I started calculating out if I could sell X number of plants a month, how much money could I make if I'm getting them for this amount? That's kind of where I started with this whole thing that led to me buying all of these plants. But back to our story. So I am going to be selling these plants to make money. Now, if you are not aware, I have been selling my own like propagations for my plants for a long time now, and I've been donating a portion of the proceeds to a local nonprofit organization called My Possibilities. And just a reminder, because I haven't said this in a while, what that organization does, but they are kind of like not kind of like, they are, it's like, why do I keep saying like? It's a continuing educational program for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So think like Down syndrome, that kind of thing. And basically this continuing education program helps prepare them to hold down a permanent vocation, and one that's like, I don't know, one that is like more, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, of a higher level, I guess, than they might be able to get otherwise if they hadn't gone through this continuing education program, if that makes sense at all. So a wonderful organization, and I am, you guys, still going to be contributing a portion of all the plants that I sell, a portion of that proceed to that organization. Now, you're probably wondering, where am I planning on selling these plants at? Well, you guys, about a year ago, right at a year ago actually, I acquired a bunch of web domains related to Aloha Plant Life. I also acquired my actual name, DreaWilliams.com, and then I just didn't have time to actually build a website. And I wanted to build those websites because I knew from the beginning of when I started this channel that I had ideas for like Planty products that I wanted to design and create, and I wanted to be able to sell them on my own website. Well, once again, I had a full-time job, didn't have time to build out the website. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've built a website too, so I was like, there's going to be a bit of a relearning curve there. So I just never got around to it. So another thing I have been working on over the last few weeks is actually building out the AlohaPlantLife.com website. And by the time you guys are watching this video, honestly, it should be live. So I am going to be selling plants on that website. Now, these particular plants, these are on the rarer side. By rarer, I mean they're harder to find here in the US at least. And these plants, I am maybe not necessarily going to list these ones on the website right away, just because it is party of one over here trying to run this business right now. And having to deal with shipping plants is definitely a time-consuming thing. And I've got to obviously rehab these plants first and everything anyways before I could even ship them out. But I have also partnered with a wholesaler here in the US to sell some more common plants on the site, and they are actually going to handle the shipping of them directly to you guys for me. So that is definitely a huge help because then I don't have to spend as much time shipping plants. So because of that, I'm hoping here soon I will be able to add these rarer plants for sale on the website, and I'll be shipping them myself. But in the meantime, my plan is to try to sell these locally. I have looked into farmers markets and things like that to try to get like a booth to sell these there. However, for some reason, nobody's accepting applications right now. I don't know, maybe I waited too long in the season to apply or something like that. Beats me. But another thing I'm going to try to do is actually arrange to do a pop-up shop or multiple pop-up shops at some of the local plant stores, because most of them don't carry these kinds of plants. And so it kind of helps draw traffic to their store, and then also should help generate business for them, not just because the people coming may have never heard of their store before or been there before and now they're aware of it, but also because if they buy these plants from me at those pop-ups, then they might need to get, for example, a pot, a planter to put the plant into, and all of those stores sell planters and things like that. So that is my current thought process on trying to sell these locally first. Now the big question I have is how quickly can I move these? So this is kind of a little bit of a test run. And this is where I kind of also made my first mistake, you guys. So once again, I was a little nervous about all of this. I was nervous to spend that much money and not know if I could move them or how quickly I could move them. And so I was like, we're just going to do a test run. And I even reached out to AroidAsia, and my main contact over there, he's a lovely gentleman, always very helpful. And I basically told him, I was like, I just placed a really big order and here's why. And so I outlined everything and what my plan was. And he was very nice. He said they were very shocked. They saw the order come through and they were very shocked that it was from me. And he was going to make sure that he picked out some of the best quality plants for me. So thank you very much if you're watching. And yeah, so I placed this order and I talked to him. I was feeling pretty good about things. And then about a week went by, you guys, and I started doing the math in my head for the dates. So plants coming from overseas, and specifically from oh my gosh, you guys, AroidAsia. That was hard there for a second. They usually take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to ship. Now think about it. They have to get photosanitary certificates to prove there's no pests on the plant. And if they find pests, you know, they gotta fix it. They can't send it and all that good fun stuff. So there's just a bit of a lag in getting them shipped. And I knew that, but I was like, okay, we're just going to do this. But then I forgot about the fact that some of these plants will acclimate very quickly. I'll be able to rehab them very quickly, but some of them are going to take at least a month. So I started running the numbers in my head and I was like, I should have ordered way more plants in that first order. So that's when I placed the second order, which has not arrived yet. It's probably going to ship in the next week, probably, I think. I placed that order because I was like, by the time I use these as a test run, even if it works, I'm going to be like screwed. I'm going to have to wait like 2 more months to be able to get more plants in, get them rehabbed, sell those. I was like, I needed to order way more in that first test order. And honestly, right now, I'm thinking I'm going to place another order here this week too. And I'm just going to cross my fingers that I can sell these plants and make it happen, you guys. I'm seriously dedicated to making this happen. Now, once again, it is just a very, very scary time, but I wanted to also make sure that I didn't have all my eggs in one basket, as it were. So plants are not the only thing that I am going to be selling on my website. But let's finish getting this Albo unpacked here first before we talk about that. Okay, you guys, I got all of the wrapping around the leaves off of here. So definitely a lot of leaves here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves, and then a little one that has turned yellow here is probably not going to make it. So this is a very nice sized plant, especially for the price. It's not super highly variegated, if you guys can see. And that's the other thing that I have been a little bit concerned with when it comes to ordering plants, especially variegated ones. I knew there was a possibility these wouldn't be like super variegated. It's just kind of luck of the draw sometimes. And AroidAsia makes it perfectly clear that, you know, there will be variation. Like we have more than one of these in here, so the other one may be more variegated than this one. They're very upfront about that. They do occasionally sell plant by, what do you call it? Not plant by picture, but basically it's like this is the real picture of the plant you're getting. They do that sometimes, but more often than not, I think it's on their flash sales. But they're very transparent in their descriptions that there will be variation. It's not going to look exactly like the picture if it's not a plant that they're listing as this is the real photo of the plant you're going to get. So that is also why I was kind of like, well, since these were on sale so drastically, I was like, okay, well, it's worth the risk, because even if it's not super variegated, the amount of money I can make selling it versus what I paid for it is still pretty significant. But with some other variegated plants, there's been some that I wanted to buy, but I was just like, if they come in at the price that they were listed, if they came in really unvariegated, I could potentially be either facing a loss when I had to sell them or making only a few dollars. And what's the point? You know, I might as well buy some different plants that would have a higher margin on them when I sell them than that. So I've just kind of tried to be a little bit strategic about it. And let me know, you guys, down in the comments if you would like me to film a video when I am actually shopping for the plants to stock my online store / in-person sales for pop-ups and whatnot. It might be an interesting learning experience for you about how I think about it and how I make the decisions. I don't know. Or maybe not. Like I said, comment down below. Let me know if that's a video you would be interested in. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention to you guys is, since I am partnering with a wholesaler here in the US for the more common plants, and once again, common, just common in my area. Some of these are like probably not common in other countries, but you guys know what I mean. The plants that you see in all the stores here, everywhere. So because I'm partnering with somebody else for those, there is a possibility when you order those plants that the invoice that comes in the box is going to have a different plant name on it, or there may be a tag on the pot that has a different plant name than what I have listed on the website. I am listing the correct plant names on the website because you guys know how I feel about people listing incorrect plant names. I am listing the correct plant name, and also I try to list the common names, all the common names I can think of that it sometimes goes by, on my website. So if what you receive has something different on it somewhere, like I said, maybe on a sticker on the pot, maybe on the invoice in the box, just know that what I have it listed as on my website, alohaplantlife.com, is the correct name, okay? I'm not gonna have much control over what they put on what goes in the box. That is kind of one of the downsides of doing it that way. But once again, I can't ship everything by myself right now. It's just not doable. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna have to stand up to finish doing this. There is definitely, as you guys can see, there are roots falling off here. There's definitely a significant amount of rot on here. But those are kind of the smaller roots that are coming off of the big ones. So hopefully there is enough good roots on the bigger parts. Man, look at that. That this plant will be able to rehab successfully. I mean, there's definitely a lot of roots. I mean, look at this. Look at that, you guys. That's crazy. We should be able to salvage this. This is just going to take me quite a bit of time. Ew. Mushy, to kind of trim off all the stuff that needs to be trimmed off after this video, and then we'll see what we're left with. But the big roots here look pretty good. Some of them are a little bit mushy in the middle, but there's just so many, you guys. There's so many. I think we'll be okay, but let's go ahead and get this one in water. I don't even know if I have I don't think I have a thing big. I gotta find something else to put this in. This is crazy. This is like the biggest root structure I've had on any kind of plant that I've gotten from them. I feel like I need a bucket. I don't know if I have a bucket. Hold on. Let me see what I can find. Okay, guys, that guy is literally chilling in a soup pot in my kitchen right now, but that's what I had that was going to work. I may, end up having to run to a store today and get some more things to rehab plants into. I'm just making a complete and total mess as well here. Okay, moving on to our next plant. We do have a Philodendron Gloriosum. I did get multiple of these as well, so we'll just open one first to take a look at. And while I'm doing that, so the other things that I will be selling on my website. Well, of course, in addition to plants, Planty products, and those are gonna kind of gradually come onto the site. Now I do have a link on there to my Amazon storefront where you guys can find the products that I recommend and like to use, and I do get a small commission at no additional charge to you guys off of anything you buy from that storefront. So that is going to be on the website, but I am going to be adding on, in addition to having the link to that, adding on to the actual website some other products such as like planters and things like that, but I still am having to work at sourcing some of these things because I also, like I said, I don't really have room to bring them in and, you know, store them myself and ship them out myself. So I'm trying to find companies who will basically ship them direct to you guys. And, you know, I won't make as much money on those items as I would if potentially I bought them wholesale and shipped them out myself. But once again, it's just me and I can't afford to hire anybody right now. So this is what I'm going to do just to start. Further down the line, you know, that could change. Actually, that probably will change. But right now, that's what we're doing to start. Now, in addition to that, I have also been working on sourcing and creating some merch for you guys. I have found, I think, the company that I'm going to partner with to produce it. But right now, the big question is, what merch do I want to offer? So I kind of need your guys' help on that. What kind of merch would you be interested in? T-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, you name it. Anything that you might be interested in owning that has the Aloha Plant Life logo on it, or like I said, I'm working on the designs right now, and I think I found the company to source with, but I just need to know what you guys are interested in, what you would like to own, and that will give me a better idea of what to provide. So as soon as I can figure that out, and just comment down below to let me know what you're interested in, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, however you like to reach out. As soon as I can figure that out, then I will start getting those produced and they will be available for sale there. And I will also list them for sale directly here on YouTube as well. I think it appears like right below the description for the video, maybe. If you just keep scrolling down below the video, once I do release it, you'll see it there. And yeah, so those are kind of the first tangible items that I am going to be offering and selling on the website. So here is the first Philodendron Gloriosum. And by the way, this was the easiest one out of all of them so far to unpackage. That was way easier and took way less time than the other ones. Now we have lost a few leaves. That's not abnormal, but the ones that are still here are looking beautiful and velvety, and absolutely love this. Now the Melanochrysum that we unwrapped earlier, that is a climber, just a reminder. This is a crawler, so this is not going to work on a pole. It wants to be in a long pot where it can kind of crawl and root along the surface. And there is a new leaf starting right there. You guys can see I'm totally hitting the microphone, but that's okay. Nice new leaf starting to come in. Oh, if that one will get out of the way. Right there. And these roots, once again, very kind of fine, but they look good. They look healthy. I'm not really seeing any rot at all on these. So gonna go ahead and get this one into one of our vessels here. Go with this one. There we go. Get the dead leaf out of here. All right, let's figure out, let me move these. I'm gonna move the Gloriosums, the other ones out, so we can open up another exciting new plant while I tell you about the non-tangible things I'm going to be offering up to you guys on the website. Oh, these Gloriosums. Ooh, let's do this one next. Okay, let me move what's on my lap out of the way. Okay, so we are about to open a Philodendron Variegation. This is also going to be a climbing philodendron. All right, so I started thinking, what if I'm having a really hard time moving these tangible products? I'm not selling as many, you know, as quickly as I thought. And then, you know, the money runs out and I have to go get a corporate job again. It's not going to happen, you guys. I keep telling myself it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right, guys? Remind me, I can do this. It's not going to happen. But it's still like this thought in the back of my mind. So I was like, what else can I offer? And what can I do, like, also locally that I can advertise in like plant shops here and everything. So I am going to be offering services through the website as well. So the particular services that I am going to offer The one that is probably going to be maybe most interesting to you guys, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it won't be the most interesting one, but I am going to offer plant doctor services, and I'm going to offer these both as like a remote like video call type situation, and then also for people who actually live in this area, also offer it as like an in-person service as well. And I actually filmed a video of basically doing this for a couple of friends of mine who had some plants that were struggling. The last time I was at their house, I was like, I don't know what is going on over there, but that plant needs some help. And so they agreed to let me come in and film helping out their plants and kind of showing them kind of not necessarily what they're doing wrong, but what they could be doing better to make the plants happier and help them to thrive more. So I am going to be offering that as a service. Once again, you'll be able to check out the rates if the site is actually live at this point. Once again, you guys, my goal is for it to be live by the time that you are watching this, but you know how it goes. Something may have happened, or there may have been a delay in me getting a permit or something that I needed. You know what I mean? So if we are live, you should be able to see the rates. I don't want to like state rates right now because honestly, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to charge for them, but there's always a small possibility that I will change my mind before I actually launch the site. So I don't want to be telling you guys the wrong thing. But yeah, so I thought that would be helpful for people. We did lose one leaf off of this plant on the way here, but we do have 2 leaves and a third one coming in. And look how gorgeous this plant is. Oh, I love the way Variegosums look. I will say though, I am not exactly the biggest fan of fuzzy petioles, you guys. I know a lot of people are, but you can see that is a very hairy, fuzzy petiole. Not my preferred thing. Like, I think it kind of looks a little bit creepy and weird. But if I have this like on a pole and it's facing the light, and then I'm not gonna really see it, you know, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna get these roots unwrapped here. So yeah, plant doctor services, I thought that would be fun. I also, you guys, have something else I am working on, but it's related to that I think you guys are gonna like even more. Oh man, I want to tell you about it right now, but I can't. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want somebody to steal my idea, honestly. But it's definitely going to require, it's not something like I can create myself. I'm gonna actually have to hire somebody to do it, and it's gonna be not cheap. So that's definitely gonna have to come a little bit further down the line, but so excited about that one. So yeah, in addition to that though, I am going to offer in-person and also like remote, probably, I don't know. This probably won't get launched right away, or maybe it will. Once again, you guys, by the time you're watching this, it's going to be a few weeks later, and I may have changed my mind 5 different ways from the time of recording this to then. So as of right now, my thought process is that I will probably launch this service right away, but there is a possibility that I may wait to do it till a little further down the line. But I also want to offer plant styling services. So once again, this could be via a remote video call, as it were, and it could be help me with my plant styling of all the plants and everything I already have, or it could be I don't have a lot of plants, but I want to get more and I just don't know how to style them and what to buy for what places, that kind of thing. But yeah, I thought that would be something fun. And then once again, people in this area could also hire me to come do it in person. So that's the second service. Now the third and final service for starting off with, there may be more services down the line, we'll see. And if there's any services you think of that you would be interested in that I don't mention today, comment down below and let me know. But the last one, and this is definitely obviously going to be local only, is plant sitting services. Because honestly, you guys, a lot of times we just find like friends or family to take care of our plants. And if you're like me, I still pay, you know, a lot of my friends who come and take care of my plants, because normally they're also taking care of Toby. And a lot of them say they would do it for free, but I still feel like I should pay them for it. But lots of times those people don't really know a lot about plants, so they're just kind of going based off of what we tell them. And we have to take a lot of time to say, okay, this is plant probably needs to be watered on this day. Don't water this plant. Check this plant. If it feels this way, then water it. All that good fun stuff. And sometimes it might just be easier, less of a headache and less of a hassle to hire somebody who actually knows plants to take care of your plants while you're gone. So that is the third service that I will be offering. So once again, I am trying to diversify, and real quick, let's look at these roots. Once again, super fine roots like on the other ones, the philodendrons that we have opened so far. Not unexpected. They do look a bit dry. There is a little bit of rot, so I'm hoping that we will rehydrate okay. So who do we got? We got a glass over here. So let's go ahead and get this one into some water. But like I said, definitely I'm just trying to diversify. Of course, this one's going to be a pain about going into this. Please hold. Okay, we are in the water. But yeah, I was just trying to think like what can I do? And I'm gonna make sure it's not too much, you guys. Like I'm gonna limit the number of bookings that I can take at any given time. So there are periods where you may see on the website currently not taking appointments, or the way it's set up, like you may just see like appointments aren't available for a month. You know what I mean? Just depending on how booked I am, because I also don't want to become like overwhelmed right away and not be able to take care of everything, if that makes sense. So I am trying to be logical and keep that in my mind as well. But since I don't really know what's going to take off the fastest, once again, I just really wanted to diversify what I'm going to do to bring in additional income, because right now, honestly, you guys, the only income that's coming in is ad revenue from the YouTube channel. And that is very, very small, very small. Although this month has actually been the biggest month since I started the channel, well, since I got monetized on the channel. And that's thanks to you guys. All the watch time you're doing definitely helps. And so super excited that that has at least started to go up since I lost my job. Somebody's knocking at my door. Hold on, you guys. All right, you guys, sorry about that, but that I actually just sold some plants. So, and not these plants, obviously, but some of my propagations. This is actually a lady who has bought a ton of plants from me, but she's gotten to the point now where she doesn't even tell me she's coming. If she's in the area, she just comes and knocks on the door to see if I'm home and is like, what do you got? What do you got for me? And so she just bought like $28 worth of plants, and then she saw that I was filming a video. She saw the Variegation hanging out on the table here and was like, are you selling that? And I was like, not quite yet, but you know what? I'll give you first dibs. So yeah, kind of interesting that she stopped by right now. So that was fun. I told her I'm going to be launching a website. She seemed excited about it. So yeah, that was cool. All right, let's move on. And I don't even remember what I was talking about right now. Where was I at? I don't know. I think I was still talking about diversifying, and that's why I'm offering, you know, services as well as physical products. Let's go ahead and just open this one that is unlabeled and see if we can figure out what it is. But I'm really, I mean, there are days, you guys, where I'm pumped and I'm like, I get a lot done and I'm like, I've got this. I can do this. I'm feeling solid about this. And then there's days where I'm like, I don't got this. What the heck am I doing? I should just start taking time to apply for corporate jobs. And a few days ago was one of those days because this package got held up in customs in Kentucky, but it sat in customs for about 2 days and it was like awaiting clearance. And I'm like, well, why isn't it clearing? I was getting really nervous. I called UPS and was like, what the heck's going on? And they were like, well, it can take up to 5 days to clear. I was like, oh my gosh, no, that's not okay. So then I called US Customs and was like, gonna be like, what the heck? But they weren't open yet that day, but they had automated answers to questions and they said it could be there for 45 days. I was like, it cannot be there for 45 days. These plants are gonna be dead. So luckily it finally cleared 2 days later. And I did get charged like $80.62 by UPS. And it shows a breakdown. It says that 42 of that was a brokerage fee charged by UPS to act as a broker on my behalf. And then 38.62 or whatever was from the government, but it didn't say what for. So I'm assuming this is duty tax. I don't know. So now that's another headache. I got to figure out exactly what that is, because when I was calculating like my cost versus the price I was going to sell these plants for, I did not figure that into the cost. So I got to figure out how all that works and update my spreadsheet of inventory and how much it cost me and whatnot. So yeah, always fun surprises, but it's a learning experience. If anybody though has experience with this and can help me answer that question, definitely let me know. All right. I think this is just another, maybe it's a Gloriosum? I don't think it's a Gloriosum. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, I'm just gonna get the roots unwrapped. Oh wait, we have a shipping invoice. Hold on. Okay, guys. I am not 100% certain. This might actually, I think I know what this is now, but this might be a freebie that AroidAsia threw in. I'm not sure, because what's on the packing slip is going to match whatever they put in the box. but it might not match my actual order receipt. So I'll have to double check after this video, and you know me, I'll pop it up on screen and let you know if it was a freebie or not. But I think this might be a Philodendron McDowell, unless we come across something else labeled as a McDowell in here. But you can see it's got that more distinct rippling. It's not as velvety as that Gloriosum, but that rippling is what I really like about the McDowell. So as this gets bigger, that is going to get even kind of more defined. But let's see how these roots are looking. If I can find where the start of this tissue paper is. There it is. Okay, I think I've just about got this off of here. And just a reminder, this is a crawling philodendron, not a climbing one. These roots look good. They actually look a little bit thicker. Some of them are a little bit thicker than on the other philodendrons we've unwrapped so far. Man, this tissue paper is like, or tissue is really trying to stick to some of these. Come on, let go. Okay, I think we got it off of there. So you can see here there are some like thicker roots in there in comparison to some of the thin ones like we've seen on the other ones, but these look really healthy. There's a tiny bit of rot on some of them, but all in all looks pretty good to me. And we do have like, this leaf is turning a little yellow. I think this other one is just the newest leaf. I think this just hasn't hardened off yet. That's why it looks like that, I think. But the other two look great. So let me grab this jar from over here. Man, I really need like more space. I'm glad I remembered I had this table that I'm using though. Okay, we are in. Let's get that over there. All right, let's see what we're gonna open up next. And then I've got another kind of exciting thing to tell you guys about that hopefully will also help me out with bringing in some additional money and is going to provide you guys with some additional exciting things as well. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, I forgot I ordered some of these things, you guys. Okay, we're gonna open this next. This is another philodendron. This is a Philodendron glorious. So the glorious, if I recall correctly, I think is a cross between a Gloriosum and a Melanochrysum, I think. If I'm not right about that, I'll flash what it actually is up on screen for you guys, but pretty sure that's what it is. So this is another climbing philodendron. So while I'm getting into this, all right, and this will be live. This will be live. When you are watching this video, this will have happened. I am launching YouTube memberships. Right now, YouTube memberships are now live on this channel. I do have several different tiers. So the base level is Plant Pals, and at this level, you guys get loyalty badges next to your name and comments and live chats like we're doing today. And then also I have some custom emojis that you can use in comments and live chats as well. You also get priority reply to comments. So whenever I'm checking my comments, I will be replying to all of my Plant Pals first. The next level is Foliage Friends. And at this level, you get everything from the previous level, plus you get to participate in member-only polls, where I do polls about upcoming videos that maybe you guys want to see and things like that. And then also you get access to exclusive members-only videos. And then the top level is Botanical Besties. And so at this level, you get everything from the previous two levels. Plus, once I do launch my merchandise, you will get a 5% discount on all of the merchandise. And then also you will get exclusive members-only photos and status updates. Those will be done on the community tab here on the channel. Now, I do want to let you guys know that I actually am planning on adding some additional higher tiers on here with some much bigger benefits to you guys, but those benefits are going to be around the website. And like, for example, one of the tiers, the added benefit might be you get, I don't know, 5 to 10% off of all your purchases from my website, whether it be for plants or other physical items or maybe even services. So that would be a added discount you could get at that higher tier level. In addition, I'm considering like the highest tier level would have that discount plus unlimited free shipping basically. Once again, I haven't quite figured all of that out yet, but I didn't want to launch those levels yet because I knew I wanted to include some stuff related to the website, but those will be coming. So if you are interested in something like that, you can still sign up for like a lower level membership. And then further down the line when I launch that, of course, I'll let you guys know and you can switch the level. But it's exciting. I've got videos already, some videos already lined up for you guys for the levels that have the additional videos. And it's going to be anywhere from 1 to 2 videos per month. It just kind of depends how much time I have and yeah, things like that. But here is the Philodendron Glorious, and that is the newest leaf. It has not hardened off yet, but as you can see, very, very beautiful. And these leaves get giant. I will find something to flash on screen for you so you can see a mature one. These roots look pretty good. There's not really a lot of rot going on. Once again, kind of fine roots, but super excited about this one. All right, I gotta take a second to swap out, get some more vessels, move these plants, and then we'll pick this back up. Okay, so I do know, you guys, as well, that not everybody is going to be able to, you know, buy a membership or anything. There's just all kinds of different options here. I really, like I said before, once again, I really wanted to diversify, but also I wanted to offer enough variety of options that if you guys did want to support me in some way, there were ways for you to do it that made sense for you, because a lot of people don't necessarily have the money to do like a membership, buy a membership. A lot of people maybe aren't interested in the extra things you get for the membership, but maybe you are interested in some of these plants and you would want to buy those from the website or one of those services or whatever it may be. So really, I think I've done a pretty good job of kind of planning this out. And there are still other things further down the line. Like I said, there's that one kind of plant doctor related thing that I don't want to tell you all about because I don't want somebody to steal my idea. I do have some other products that I've been working on developing, and I just have to find somebody to actually manufacture them for me. So there's a lot more coming, but I'm hoping that this is going to be enough to start for me to be able to actually make a living off of planty related things. And hopefully you don't all just think I've completely and totally lost my mind. But yeah, that's basically the story, you guys. So let's just focus now on looking at some pretty plants as we continue unboxing here. For this next plant we're gonna open is another philodendron. This is a Philodendron majestic. I know there's a lot of philodendrons, you guys. And never mind the fact that there's 10 of the Gloriosum, 10 of the Melanochrysum. There might be 10 of these. I can't remember, and I just looked at the packing slip and I still can't remember. All right. Here we go. All the tissue paper falling off everywhere. All right. Oh, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if you can see there, we do have the kind of mottled silverish, grayish kind of patterning on these leaves, beautiful heart-shaped leaves. Once again, I am very impressed with how many leaves are in each of these plants so far, you guys. That's been a very welcome surprise, and they've been decent size too. It's not like they're little baby ones like you see a lot. Well, whenever you see them available in stores in my area, they're like seedling looking size. But let's see how these roots are looking. And I see Toby heading our way. Hopefully he doesn't try to jump up here. I wouldn't put it past him. Oh no, I think he's gonna go eat. Okay, almost got this off, I think. Once again, these are going to be relatively fine roots. And what I'm seeing so far, it does look like there might be a little bit of rot, but all in all, not too bad. And once again, you guys, just a reminder, some rot is expected when you're importing plants, especially shipping in general. But the longer it's in a box, and especially if it's bare root, it's not unexpected. But all in all, there are a lot of roots there. So even if we lose some to rot, I think we will be okay. Once again, nice looking root system. So definitely a beautiful plant. This is another climbing philodendron, just as a reminder. So let me get this one into this glass of water I brought out over here. Maybe it might be too tall for it. Oh, that's gonna fall over. Maybe we should try it in this vase. This one is crazy big. Okay, I'm gonna have to go prop this up against something where it's not going to fall over. Okay, and you know what we should have opened before we opened that one was the one that I was all excited about to tell you about because of the story, and I forgot about it because I put it down here on the floor, so 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna be opening, we have 2 of these. I think we only have 2 of these. We're gonna be opening this next. It is another philodendron, and honestly, you guys, this was being sold as a 2-piece pack. And I think it was on one of their flash sales, and I got it with the intention of selling one of them, but also keeping one of them. And that is because this is the Philodendron Plowmanii. And as you guys know, that is on my wish list, and my plan for that plant is to put it in a long rectangular planter, which I already have, and put it up on my mantle. That is why I got the Vita Grow Light from Soul Tech. Well, I say I got it. They actually sent that one to me for free after I bought the pendant light that I have from them. And so it's just been sitting in a box because my plan was to install it in the light fixture above the mantle once I got the Plowmanii, but I didn't have the Plowmanii yet. I now have it. So let's unwrap it and let's see how it looks. And then in a future video, a very soon future video, well, maybe not that soon because just depends how long it takes this plant to kind of acclimate, because I'm probably not going to put it straight up there right away. I want it to get some natural sunlight as it's trying to acclimate first. But at some point here in the next month or so, you will get a video on me potting this up and then installing the Vita Grow Light and putting this up on the mantle. And then we're gonna have to figure out how we want to style the rest of the mantle at that point as well. So that will be a fun upcoming video for you guys to look forward to. Alrighty. Ooh, we got inside cotton inside of the wrapping on this one. And this is a crawling philodendron. I know I didn't just say that, but like I said, I was putting it in that long rectangular, I'm gonna put it in a long rectangular pot, and that's the reason it's a crawling philodendron. This is the first crawling philodendron that I will have owned. It is not the first crawling plant that I have owned. It is just the first crawling philodendron. I'm super excited about this. I wanna get these roots unwrapped, but before I get these roots, oh man, the leaves on this one are huge, you guys. Oh my gosh, what is that? There's some like white speckling on the back of this. I don't know if it's from something they used to treat the plant when they were prepping it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on camera, but there's just some weird white speckling on that leaf. It's not on any of the others. I don't know what that is or what it's from. I'll wipe it off as soon as we are done with this video, but look at that leaf. Look how beautiful that is. And just like that McDowell that we were looking at earlier, you can see that distinctive like rippled, billowy texture. Going to be even more defined the bigger this plant gets. I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's like the size of my head. It's so beautiful. I love it. Okay, I could already tell before we even unwrap this, just based off the size of the packaging, but just how this feels, that this was a very, very mature cutting of a Philodendron Plowmanii. So let's get these roots unwrapped and see what we're looking at. And there is like a beautiful new growth point starting at the bottom of this. And I will say, even though both of these shipments from AroidAsia, both the free one and my first paid one, had some weird things like going through Ohio and going through Alaska and getting held in customs for a couple days. I mean, a couple of days is better than like the 5 or possibly 45 days. And there are risks involved, obviously, when you're importing plants. But other than that, I have been pleased so far with everything that I've gotten from AroidAsia. Now, in case you guys are wondering, because I haven't given you an update in a while, the anthurium, because I had never owned an anthurium before. I got one in that shipment, that original shipment they sent me, and then it got root rot. I mean, it had a little bit of rot on it to begin with, but I think it was just, I don't know. It was probably something I did. I have no idea. I don't know. So I had to remove all the roots. I had to unpot it, remove all the roots, restart it in water. And it did start to get to a very big, like from what would have been aerial roots, started to grow down into the vessel of water that it's in. And they're getting longer by the day. And now finally, there's some additional roots starting to grow outside of just those two that would have been aerial roots. But it has been a very slow going process. The plant still has all of its leaves that it came with when we unboxed it, but it's just taking forever. And I even stuck a Marble Queen pothos cutting in there to try to have those hormones help push that plant to root more quickly. And I don't know that that's working, but if anybody has any advice on getting anthurium to root more quickly in water, definitely let me know. But I'm just trying to practice patience and hope that it will eventually get there. I'm sure it will. This tissue is definitely sticking to some of these roots a lot. There we go. Okay, so once again, semi-fine roots, but there are some thicker roots in here as well. We do have a little bit of rot on some of the finer ones, but all in all, it doesn't look too bad. And you can see that starting a new growth point right there. That's huge. But oh my gosh, you guys, this is such a beautiful plant. Once again, I don't know what I'm gonna put this in because this is very wide. I guess I'm about to go in my kitchen and find something else unconventional to use. I'll be right back. Okay guys, at the end of this video, I'm gonna flash a cut-in of what everything looks like and how ridiculous some of the situations I've had to do to get these plants in water is. Clearly, I need to invest in some other larger vessels if I'm going to keep doing this, which I'm going to keep doing this because I can do this, you guys. I can do this. I can make this a successful business. Let's see what we've got. Okay, this is a Philodendron Splendid. I'm going to hold off on opening this one just yet because you guys have seen me unbox one before because I do own one. It came in the original free shipment from AroidAsia. Let's see. That's another Majestic. So the Majestic is the other one that I got 10 of apparently. So let's find something else that's new. All right, this is all the Majestics. That's all Majestics. Okay, that's all. That's it. That's it. Okay, then let's open the Splendid because we don't have any other different ones. I thought we did have something else different. Let me check our list. Nope. That is it in this order. Oh yeah, a lot of stuff I was thinking about is coming in the next order. I will definitely film an unboxing video of that next video, but I think I will probably make that one of the members only additional videos. So if you guys are interested in seeing that one, make sure you sign up for one of the memberships in which you get the extra members only videos. But right now, the Philodendron Splendid, this one definitely looks smaller than the one that I got from them that they sent me for free, but that one has done amazing. That plant is amazing. It has grown so fast. I love it. So even if this is small, I'm not going to stay small for long. Okay. And you guys, when I'm trying to just slide this out without doing this, sometimes they come easy, sometimes they don't. Like this one feels like it's catching. If it feels like it's catching, cut it open. Just cut it open. You don't want to accidentally like tear leaves off or anything like that. And also be careful when you're cutting because as you know, if you watched the last unboxing video, I accidentally cut into one of my Monstera Thai Constellations leaves. Now it was a yellow leaf and it was gonna die anyway, but still, you don't want to accidentally cut into your leaves. Alrighty. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so this one has 3 leaves. They are a little bit smaller leaves than on the one that I own that they had given me, but honestly, I'm pretty sure that one only had 3 leaves and the start of a 4th one coming in. So same thing, we've got 3 leaves here and there is a start of a 4th one coming in right there. And so even though they are smaller than on the one that I already own, they are not much smaller. And like I said, this thing, I put it in the IKEA cabinet for like the first day. And then after I potted it up, it wouldn't fit. So I just left it out and we were in like the worst humidity time in my house of the year and it did fine. I mean, it did absolutely positively fine. I can't say enough. It rehabbed so easy. The only plant that rehabbed easier out of that original shipment from them was the Monstera Thai Constellation. That one just was like, oh, we're in a new place. Great. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep pushing new roots. I'm going to keep pushing new leaves. Like, didn't skip a beat and it didn't go into the cabinet at all. So fine with the humidity level in my house. I'm interested to see how the Albo does, honestly. I don't know. I've kind of heard they can be a little bit more finicky. Let's see. Okay, almost got these roots unwrapped. Once again, these are going to be very thin, fine roots and we might be a little bit dry. We might have a little bit of rot. If we do, I will just remove the rot after it has had at least 24 hours to sit in water and rehydrate. And then anything that looks highly suspect, I will obviously remove the rot, but then I'm going to give it a root rot treatment. I think that's one of the things that I didn't do that I should have done on that Anthurium that may have led to why it continued to get root rot after I cleaned all the roots off, or cut all the bad roots off because I didn't give it the treatment. Like I said, you guys, probably my fault. My fault that happened. But anyways, here we go. All right, so once again, super fine roots, but they do look pretty healthy. There's not like a ton of them, but that's okay because they're healthy. So we're gonna put this in the glass of water I've got over here. And like I said, that is the last different plant. So we just have a bunch of the same plants. So what's gonna happen right now, because I don't wanna make you guys sit here and watch me unwrap all of these. We are going to like rapid fire through this. You are not going to see me necessarily unwrapping them, or I may just speed it up for you. And then we're going to talk about how the roots look and everything. And yeah, that'll help us get through these much quicker. But you know what? I think we're going to start with the other Monstera Albo next, because I'm really interested to see how much variegation that one has compared to the one we already unboxed. All right, you guys, I've got this other Monstera Albo undone. Roots are about the same. Honestly, I feel like there might be a tiny bit less rot on the smaller, finer vines. I definitely don't have as much falling off into the box as I did on the other one. I don't know if it's just because, well, no, what I was about to say makes no sense, so I'm not even gonna say it. But it is a little bit smaller of a plant for sure. But I feel like, so like most of these leaves don't have like a ton of variegation, as you can see, but then look at this one. Look at that beauty. That is a beautiful leaf right there. I think that's probably the most variegated out of the two, but I can see on both of these on the stem that there is some lovely variegation running through there, and that is where this newest leaf has come out. And the newest leaf right here did come out from this beautifully variegated one right here. So we do have variegation running strong. I'm sure once I get this rehabbed into more light, hopefully we'll see more variegation pick up on this. But I'm gonna get this one into water, and then we're gonna open the other Philodendron Plowmanii next and see how it looks compared to that very beautiful big one we just opened. Okay guys, so I still need to unwrap the roots on this one, but you can see the leaves they aren't quite as big. They're still beautiful. Everything looks beautiful on this plant, and they're just a bit smaller. On camera, probably, well, I don't know. You can probably tell it's not as big as my head like the other one. There's still this beautiful new growth point that looks very healthy coming in here. So I am going to get these roots uncovered, but I had a thought about something while I was opening this one. So once again, importing plants can be risky. It can also be daunting and intimidating, and you might be worried that you're not going to be able to successfully rehab and acclimate the plants. So in a way, by me importing these from AroidAsia and acclimating them for you, I am helping to take the risk out of that. So that is definitely another sort of service that I didn't really think about when I was talking about what I'm going to be offering on the website earlier. So if you are, scared to import plants, that's totally understandable. And I basically will help take care of the scary part for you. And then I will deliver you fully potted plants. By the way, when I sell these, everything that's going to be sold on my website is going to be in a pot, and that is how it will ship. So there is less risk for you guys. Now, obviously, I don't think I stated this earlier, but right now I'm only going to be selling and shipping within the US. That will probably change down the line. But once again, I can't go too crazy right away. I've got to be able to manage this as one person. But yeah, so that definitely helps take the risk out of things. However, if you guys are interested, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, I want these plants, I want one now, and maybe I'll just get it from AroidAsia too, you can definitely do that. I do have a discount code with them. It gets you 15% off of your order of, I think it has to be $150 or more, but it can be used repeatedly and in conjunction with other offers they're doing, such as like free shipping and things like that. The code is Aloha23, I believe. And so yes, you can use that to buy your own plants. Now, once again, just remember, it does take a while for them to ship, so just be patient. If you're an instant gratification person, your better bet's going to be to buy them from me. You're going to get them more quickly. But once again, it all benefits AroidAsia, because the more you buy from me, the more plants I have to buy from them. And if you choose to buy directly from them, well, they're still getting more plant orders as well. So it's a win-win for AroidAsia. These roots look pretty good as well. A little bit of rot, once again, not unexpected. It is normal for that to happen. It just happens when you ship plants, you guys. Nothing to be too concerned about, unless they've all rotted and fell off completely or something. Then I might be like, ooh, okay, what happened there? But all in all, this looks beautiful. So I'm looking at my mantle and I'm trying to decide if I want to use this one for mine or the bigger one. I need to like glance in the kitchen at the bigger one again real quick. Okay, I went ahead and put it in a vessel of water while I was in the kitchen, but looking at them side by side, I still don't know. We'll do what I said originally, and we'll just make the decision in the video where we actually pot it up and put it up on the mantle. All right, let's see. Bunch of Gloriosums. Here's all the Majestics, I think. Let me make sure. And then Here's the rest of the Gloriosums and the Melanochrysums, right? Okay, so let's get all of these Majestics opened up next. Rapid fire, you guys. All right, you guys, Majestic number 2, Philodendron Majestic number 2. I swear, I feel like we are losing so much light right now. It's not even that late. It's like, I guess it's 3 o'clock. I don't know, I guess maybe it's just because it got cloudier outside. I just feel like the lighting's getting horrible in here, but hopefully everything still reads okay on camera for you. So once again, a beautiful Majestic. The roots look fabulous. So let's move on to Majestic number 3. All right, you guys, so here is Majestic number 3. We do have a little bit of yellowing on that one leaf, but once again, not that uncommon. And I'll tell you right now, all of these that I've opened so far have a new leaf that has not hardened off yet. So these are all so far looking like they're top cuts. And these poor new leaves, they're already floppier because they haven't hardened off yet, but they're also floppy because these roots are a little bit thirsty. But all in all, roots look pretty good on here. Not like a lot of rot, maybe a few little spots, but I think we'll be good. So moving on to number 4 here. Make sure, okay. So this, interesting. This is actually 2 vines. I'm sure y'all can kind of see that. We get 2 vines here. We do have, let's see, these look like, yep, we still have new leaves that haven't hardened off on each of these. We do have a little bit of yellowing right there on the oldest leaf on that vine. Much longer, bigger root system on here. And most of those are coming, it looks like most of those are coming out of one vine versus the other one. So this wouldn't be necessarily a situation where I would want to separate these, but I could if I wanted to, but those roots still look pretty good. So that was 4. Let's look at number 5. And here it is. And this one's newest leaf is definitely thirsty. It's thirsty. Look at it. It's a very thirsty leaf. It's very soft feeling, but it doesn't feel like it's going to fall off, I don't think. I think we're okay. I think there's not as many roots on this one, as you can see. But once again, they look pretty good. There's a little bit of rot, but not much. But this one definitely, I'm just going to go put it in water real quick. Okay, so, sorry. I couldn't look at that poor thirsty leaf anymore. But anyway, so far we're doing pretty good here. So that was, I think, 5. Here is 6. This is definitely, I think, probably the smallest one. We have 2 leaves here. Looks like there was a leaf here that probably fell off before they even shipped it, unless I just discover a loose leaf down in here. We do have a start of another leaf coming in over here, but all in all, still looks good. But you can see not quite as big of a root system, but still the roots look pretty good. So I'm gonna lose count. I don't know why I'm even trying to tell you what number we're on. I think we're on 7. This is another kind of smaller one, not as mature of a plant, but the leaves look good. Almost all of these do have a new leaf starting to push in, and definitely this is a much smaller root system, as you can see. But once again, doesn't look horrible, and honestly, just looks really dry. That one looks really dry mostly. So see now, I think we're on 8. Once again, why do I try? Oh my God. 8 is a monster. Look at this huge thing. Woo! I don't even know. I don't even know how I'm gonna get this to stay upright in a vessel of water, you guys. This is a beast. A big, big, big one. And this newest leaf, you can tell, is still hardening off. It's very floppy, but much more robust root system on this one. But once again, the roots look pretty good. Tiny bits of rot, but that's about all. This thing is massive. I don't even know how I'm gonna keep it upright. Oh, that's gonna be a tricky one. I feel like I need to stake them up sometimes because the vessels I'm putting them in, they're too top heavy for. Okay, 9. This one actually looks the least good out of all of them, which is not saying much because it still doesn't look that bad. But you can see there is definitely a lot of yellow on that leaf. We definitely have yellow on that leaf. But these 2 leaves, which are the newest leaves, and this one's not wanting to rotate, and there is another new leaf coming in over there, they look fine. So it's just these 2 older leaves that are slightly yellow. The roots actually look pretty good. They're kind of jumbled up. It's a pretty long root system. It's just hard to tell because they're jumbled. There's not like a lot of rot or anything. So this might just be, you know, caused by something else. Maybe they were starting to yellow before they even shipped it, and they just got more yellow on the way here, you know. Once again, no big deal. The plant still looks really healthy. So number 10. We got cotton getting stuck to everybody. This one is looking fabulous as well. This newest leaf does have a little bit of a tear there, if you can see that at the bottom, but that's okay. It hadn't fully hardened off. You know, it's more delicate. We do have another new leaf coming in back there, and we definitely have a pretty long, robust root system, and this one's got hardly any rot on it. So all in all, the Majestics turned out great. So now let's rapid fire through the Gloriosums. All right, you guys, so second Gloriosum, and I will say that out of all the plants, the Gloriosums seem to have shipped the least well, and some plants do just naturally ship better than others, and you can usually reach out to whoever you're buying from in advance and ask them, like, hey, here's the plants I'm interested in. Do these ship well or not? And they should tell you. Now, got like cotton floating around in the air and landing on my nose, sorry. Now, that does not mean that they are not in good condition. They just have more yellow leaves than the other ones. So you can see here, we've got like 3 yellow leaves on this one, but the leaves that are good, they look good, right? And the roots, all in all, look pretty good. Like these ones don't see a ton of rot, but they are, you know, fine roots, so they get a little bit drier in shipping, and so, you know, they're probably just thirsty. So we're gonna get them water in a second. These crawlers are just take up so much more room too because of the fact that they crawl. I'm like, where do I lay these while I show you the rest? How about over here on the box lid? Okay, so number 3, this one is one of the smaller ones. And you can see, once again, there is a yellow leaf, but the leaves that are good look fabulous. Now this one is a little bit weird, not weird, different, I guess. So this actually has like a big piece of node there, and it is dry, like dry. But I'm not too worried about it. And I mean, you can see too, there's not like a ton of roots really on here, but they're coming out from nodes up here. So this one is probably going to get treated a little bit more like a propagation versus a rehab. These roots are also excessively dry. This one's really dry. You know what I'm about to do. I'm about to leave and go put it immediately in water. And then we're gonna look at the rest of them because that makes me nervous. Okay, that one's in water. I feel better. Moving on, I think we're on number 4. And once again, yellow leaf. So that's what I'm talking about when I say it seems like they just haven't shipped as well. This one's starting to get a little yellow, but these two, once again, look fabulous. So I'm not too worried about it. This one does have a nice growth point starting to come in over here. And you can see slightly more robust roots going on this one. We do have a considerable bit, actually it's not that bad, just a tiny bit of rot. So in all, that one looks pretty good. What did I say that was? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yes, 5. Moving on to number 5, and once again, you're going to see a lot of yellow leaves. They are typically, looks like the oldest leaves further down on the plant, but they're very yellow. So I will be removing those. There's no need for them to hold on to them because they're not going to be able to photosynthesize. But once again, those newest leaves look great. New leaves starting to unfurl right here. This one's roots look pretty darn good to me. Not a ton of rot. Definitely happy with that. And let's see, why do I count? I'm just gonna stop counting. Next, Philodendron Gloriosum. Once again, 3 yellow leaves. They are the oldest leaves. Beautiful new growth point coming in on that one right there. And our good looking leaves are our newest leaves up here. Roots, once again, these are much longer, but they definitely still look good. Not hardly any rot on there. That's beautiful. So let's see our next one. And this one only has 1 yellow leaf, so it's an improvement. We're improving. And another beautiful new growth point there. Beautiful leaves up here. Lots of tissue paper still stuck to this one. Okay, so this one does also, like that one that was really dry a second ago, have a considerable chunk of node there compared to some of these other ones. This is just like older node, if you will. And it's possible too, it looks like that part of this plant was previously propagated from over here before this one was propagated. That's why you kind of see some differences on these. These roots have a bit more rot on them. They're a bit drier, but once again, I'm not too concerned about it because there is a lot of root action going on there. All right, I think we have 3 more. And there's our 2 oldest. Yellow leaves. The cotton that's in the bottom of this is starting to get stuck to everybody. But this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful leaves going on up here. And we don't have quite as much root action down here, but they are slightly thicker than on some of the other ones that we've looked at. And there's definitely hardly any rot on there. So feeling pretty good about that one. And yeah, 2 more. This is probably one of the smaller ones. This cotton is getting everywhere. Only 1 yellow leaf, not even totally yellow here, so that's good. But these leaves look beautiful. And you can see we don't have a lot of root action going on down here. We do have a bigger chunk of node again. Not a ton of roots. And they're pretty dry. And there's rot on a lot of them, but there is 2 big, beautiful ones here. And so I might also treat this one a little bit more like a propagation. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to leave them in water for a longer period of time until I see like more roots start to develop versus the other ones that within the next few days I will transfer them to soil. But the last one is this one right here. So once again, we've got, this is probably the most yellow leaves. There's 4 yellow leaves on here, but they're all the oldest leaves. And look at the big, beautiful new leaves. There is a new growth point coming in, and we do have fairly long roots here. They do look pretty dry. I'm used to that on these philodendrons, these finer root systems. Not a lot of rot though. So pretty happy with the Gloriosums. And last but not least, let's rapid fire through the rest of the melanochrysums. All right, you guys, next melanochrysum right here. I will say that I am more concerned about these roots than on any of the other ones. They seem to be a bit thinner, and because of that, they seem to be a bit drier. Most of them also don't have a ton of roots. Like as you can see, there's not just a ton of roots on there. Now, they don't necessarily look bad, they just look dry, very, very dry. Now, they all, for the most part, except for a few, are more on the baby side, like the first one we looked at. So there was number 1, or number 2. Once again, I'm not counting. I don't know why I'm counting. This one does, let's see, we do have 1 slightly damaged leaf there. It looks like actually that's usually what happens when it gets wet, so I'm not sure what happened there. But once again, you can see baby little leaves, but hardly any roots on this one. This one definitely not a lot of roots, and once again, they are very, very dry. So I am definitely going to be leaving all of the melanochrysums in water longer than the other ones just to get them fully rehydrated. Here is the next one, but they do all have a ton of leaves. You can see they're all like at least 1.5 feet long, so that is very nice. But once again, not a ton of roots there. These are going to be really tricky for me to pot up too, because with that few roots, I don't want to put this in anything more than like a 3-inch pot, but it's going to be so top heavy. I'm going to have to figure out a way to stake these up while they're, you know, acclimating and starting to grow more and everything. But once again, they're just really dry. I'm really going to get excited to get these into water super fast here in a second. Okay, this one has some slightly larger leaves on the bottom, so that's nice. But once again, very long. A little bit more roots on here. They don't look rotted for the most part, the roots, maybe a little bit here and there, but once again, just not a lot of roots on most of them, and they just are very dry right now. Here is the next one. This one I think has the least number of roots. It doesn't even have any roots coming out of the bottom node. This one is a slightly more concerning situation because even the roots you're going to see down here are coming out of this node way up here. Excuse the cotton stuck to them. So this is going to be another probably straight up treat it like a propagation situation. Then we've got this one, which once again, this probably has the biggest leaves out of all of them at the bottom. So nice and beautiful there. Has some fairly long roots. They look pretty good. They actually look less dry than on most of them. So this one is probably in the best condition. And let's see. So here's another one that has quite a bit of root action going on here, and these also don't seem nearly as dry. And then you can see these other roots are hanging out from a node higher up. So you guys, these clearly have been on some type of pole, probably a moss pole. That's my guess, because there are roots, significant roots starting at all of those nodes. And typically you don't see that unless it's on like a moss pole or something like that. And then second to last, and I'm gonna warn you right now, something happened with the last one and it was my fault. I'm pretty sure it was my fault at least. Here's another one. This is probably the smallest one in the bunch, but still very beautiful and cute, and does have some fairly long roots, not a ton. And they look pretty good. They don't look too dry either. Now this last one, I think I accidentally snapped it when I was unpackaging it. It may not have been me, you guys, though. It smells fresh where it snapped, but it actually looks fairly calloused. So it might have just happened in shipping, but we're two separate plants now. It's kind of sad. This was also a relatively small one, small leaves, and still had a decent amount of root action going on it on this end. Obviously, This end doesn't have too much, but there is some starting right there. So once again, this is gonna have to get treated like a propagation. And what I will probably do, I'm thinking, is I will probably get this one going and then I'll sell this one. And then I may just try to get this one going and sell it as well. But I also may just take this end and pot it up with my melanochrysum that I recently was gifted by the last plant shop, Nicholson Hardy, that I did a tour of. They gifted me some plants as a thank you, if you were unaware, because I did only post it so far on social media. So yeah, I might just pot this up with that one so that I have a slightly fuller plant, but we'll see. But right now I'm just gonna go get these last plants into water, and things are gonna look crazy with all these things and how I have them kind of rigged up in various vessels around the kitchen, and most of them on this table I've been working on by the time that I am done tonight. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed coming along with me on this AroidAsia unboxing, and I really hope that everybody is in support of this decision that I have made to try and not go back to the corporate world. Once again, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions beyond what I'm doing that you think would be good, that you would like to see, let me know. And any way you guys can continue to support the channel is always much appreciated. If you are unable to do YouTube memberships, I get it. If you are currently on a plant ban and can't buy plants, I get it. If you aren't in need of any of the services right now, I get it. As long as you guys are still here watching my videos, enjoying my videos, learning from my videos, that is all I care about. If you are here doing that, you are still supporting this channel. And if you are able to do those other things as well, that is great. But I love all of you. I always have felt supported by you guys. You are some of my biggest cheerleaders, and you guys have no idea how much that means to me. So once again, thank you so much. But if you did like this video, don't forget to click that like and/or subscribe button down below, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Aloha!